Good morning and welcome to the AIIA's annual summit. This is considered the premier technology event of the year, and for good reason. 2 weeks ago, I was in the Silicon Valley speaking to CEOs, academics, startups, tech company leaders, industry bodies and US government. Covered a wide range of topics, looking at the latest technologies, looking at research and also looking at government policy there in the US. My favourite session was a roundtable with some of the Valley's best venture capitalists. I've had a long-held view that if you want to know what's hot and what's not, you follow the money. And according to the venture capital leaders in the US, the consensus view is that we are on the verge of an explosion in scalable commercial use cases in artificial intelligence, machine learning, augmented reality, IoT, and advanced cybersecurity solutions. There's also, of course, more than just a watching brief on drones, virtual reality, and blockchain. Now, all these technologies, they represent both challenge and opportunity for the Australian industry and for government, and major implications for our economy. What early moves are we making with these technologies? What capability are we building in country? Who do we partner with? How fast do we invest? How deep do we go? It's my firm belief that technology is the key to the Australian economy. And whilst we're still enjoying economic growth in this country, the factors underpinning our growth are fragile. This is undeniable. We know we can't continue to rely on the traditional sectors to sustain growth. We know we must move to a knowledge-based, services-based economy, not just as a driver for domestic growth, but as a meaningful exporter of services, of products and of platforms on a global level. We've got a long way to go. According to the recent Lowy Institute report, Australian services exports, excluding tourism and excluding higher ed, represent less than 1.5% of our GDP. That's a major challenge. It's a structural challenge for our country that can only be addressed through innovation, which must be underpinned by a vibrant, exciting, rampant technology sector. And I know that we're all in violent agreement here in this room today. To make this happen, it requires reform, requires investment and focus. It won't happen on its own, and we need government to take a bipartisan approach to prioritising this as a national imperative. What better place to emphasise this call to action than here in our nation's capital? As the peak national industry body for the information industry, the AIIA has a critical role to play, elevating to the top of the national agenda our IT industry, our information industry, and rolling up our sleeves to drive change. It's our job to push debate about technology and how it's used, particularly by government. We need to change the mindset. It's no longer about the digital economy. It's quite simply the economy. Everything is digital. The way customers, the way citizens engage our organisations has fundamentally changed forever. And looking ahead, the future is even more exciting with the rise of these technologies driven by data analytics and quantum computing. Solutions for traffic congestion, new discoveries and cures in medicine, smarter agriculture, more intelligent transport systems, services that predict what customers and citizens need rather than waiting for them to ask. Spend a few days with Facebook, with Google, with Airbnb, or some of the most exciting Israeli startups. I did 3 trips to Israel last year alone. And you'll see for yourself that the applications and services being developed make the current day disruption of social and mobile and cloud look like we're at the starting line. The way technologies are layering over each other, it's creating mind-blowing permutations for new applications, new use cases. The big question for Australian organisations and our information industry is, are we content to be an end user or a dumb terminal user at the end of technology and IP that's been created overseas? Or are we ready to lead the innovation, create IP in this country, commercialise and build leading companies, world-leading companies and new industries here in Australia? Here's the truth. The truth is Australia has the highest adoption of smartphones almost anywhere in the world, with 31 million connected mobile devices for 24 million population. We're one of the fastest adopters of cloud services fastest adopters of social media, of applications. The US and the Israeli and other overseas companies, they love us. They love the Australian market. The question for us is, how do we leverage this for the benefit of Australian startups, Australian scale-ups, our industry, investing and thriving here? We know we've got some of the best research in this country, we just can't seem to commercialise it. We've got some of the best universities in this country. So it is a call to action in terms of the place that Australia has in the global technology sector. Like it or not, in the global services economy, which is underpinned by high tech, we are competing for trade, for advantage, for skills, for innovation, and we're ultimately competing for growth. So this is a mission, and it's a core reason for the existence of the AIIA, to take leadership, to start to shape our tech ecosystem so that we can maximise and exploit these opportunities for Australians, for our economy, for our organisations. The AIIA has a big vision and a clear agenda, which we all need to get behind, both industry and government. 3 key areas of focus: digitisation, certainly government digitisation, but continuing the industry digitisation as well. Secondly, skills and skills development. We know we've got a dearth of skills. We know we have skills challenges. We need to address that head on. And thirdly, innovation. When I took on the role of chair, I did so to drive real change. I have a simple message: step up or step forward. A message I've been driving around the country, and over the last few months, I've been encouraged with the response. But we need more. We need a groundswell. If you're an existing member, it's time to step up. I'm asking more of you. There's no more cheering from the sidelines or complaining that things aren't right. Roll your sleeves up, get involved. Help drive the agenda, shape the agenda. Let's get active. And if you're not a member, it's time to step forward and get involved in our industry events, our policy development, our government engagement, our recognition and awards programs, and our special interest groups. And by the way, a plug there for the AIIA Awards, the nation's premier information services awards and recognition event in Melbourne, national event, August 30th. Our information industry is now vital to the success of every Australian organisation. It's mission critical and will ultimately shape our economy and determine our prosperity. It's also time for the AIIA to reframe our view of the information industry beyond the ICT players, the great systems integrators and telcos and IT services companies, and embrace the IT professionals now working across the industry. In finance, insurance, in mining, in retail, in government agencies. We're all part of this. We're all in this together. The AIIA's role is to ensure Australia becomes an exemplar in the future of the information industry, not just in this country, but on the world stage. Our future relies on it. So make the most of today. Actively participate, network like your life depends on it. We've got a great lineup of speakers. We have much to share. There's keynotes, there's panel sessions, there's breakouts. I can't handle the excitement. I want to particularly acknowledge our keynote speaker, Professor Genevieve Bell from the ANU. The Honourable Ed Husick, Shadow Minister for Employment Services, Workforce Participation, Future of Work, and the Shadow Minister for the Digital Economy. And at this evening's dinner, we have the Honourable Angus Taylor MP, Assistant Minister for Cities, Digital Transformation, and the Federal Member for Hume. Enjoy the day, and thank you.